Hello. My name is Jessie, and if at some point you wanted to challenge yourself and make some curry and bought a big old curry paste like me and just let it sit in the fridge, today is the day to pull it out and make a really good chicken curry. For the ingredient, we would need 3 tablespoons of red curry paste. I'm putting it in 3 different dishes because I'm going to use the 3 tablespoons in 3 different parts of the recipe. Next, we would need a pumpkin or this green acorn squash, 1 onion, a cup of coconut milk, a cup of chicken broth. This is my homemade chicken broth, but you're more than welcome to use store-bought as well. And last but not least, 2 pounds of chicken thighs. Before we do anything, I'm gonna put the pumpkin, or in this case, the green acorn squash, in this container and microwave it for 3 minutes. These are bone-in thighs, but I don't like the bones in my soup, so I'm gonna debone it, but I still want the skin on it. And to debone it, it's really easy. You just cut down along with the bone with a paring knife and just scoop it out. And that's it. You could use boneless, skinless chicken thigh, but we prefer to have the skin on because it just adds more flavor to the dish. So I don't mind spending a little time to take the bone off. And these bones, I usually save them to make broth later. So I have a bag in the freezer that I just kind of put all of these in, and when the bag is full, I make broth out of it. And the total weight of this was a little bit over 2 pounds, but I figure after we take the bones off, it will be 2 pounds, just like my recipe. Alright, I'm just gonna save this for broths later. We won't be using this in the recipe. Now, I would just cut the chicken thighs. I like to cut it a little bit bigger because it does shrink when we cook it, and we do want it to soak in all the curry flavor.
Let's marinate the meat.
1 tablespoon of oil. This is the first tablespoon of the curry paste. Alright, now we're gonna cut into the pumpkin. The reason why I put in the microwave before cutting it, because it's so much easier to cut once you put it in the microwave for a few minutes to soften up. Otherwise, I would be standing here for an hour trying to cut the pumpkin without cutting myself. Now it's so much easier. Also, it speeds up the cooking process of the whole dish because the pumpkin gonna be cooked in minutes once we add into the curry. I'm cutting it in bigger pieces just so that it won't just fall apart and melt in the curry. Marinate the pumpkin with oil, a 2nd tablespoon of the curry paste. Gently toss this. Lastly, I'm gonna cut the onion. Hot on high heat.
1 tablespoon of oil.
Sear the chicken, skin side down. Look at all that flavor. Ooh, yummy. You want to sear about 1 minute on each side because we will be continue cooking it later. Now I'm going to move all the chicken onto one side of my pan so I can sear the pumpkin. Just adding the pumpkin. I like to pan sear the pumpkin just a little bit so it gets some firm edges on the side. And that's why later on, when we stir the curry, it won't just melt away. So you want big chunks of pumpkin in your curry, right? Or at least I do. This way the pumpkin can soak in those chicken fat. So good.
Last tablespoon of curry paste.
Chicken broth to glaze the pot. Oh, it's so good. Putting all those bits and flavor in the bottom. Put the chicken back down. I wish you guys could smell what I'm smelling right now. Spread the chicken out. Add the pumpkin back in on top. The reason why I don't want to leave the pumpkin in the bottom because it doesn't need to be in the bottom. It may get mushy, but the chicken does need to be in the bottom to cook thoroughly.
1 cup of coconut milk.
I'm gonna add half a cup of whole milk as well, but if you want to keep it dairy free, you can use 1.5 cups of coconut milk. I like the mixture of both. We'll lower the heat. Put a lid on. Put my towel over to remind me that it's hot. And while it's cooking, I'm gonna clean up. Okay, 5 minutes is up. Let's check it out. Wow, it looks so good. And it smells even better, guys. Whew. Okay, now we're gonna add in the onion. I'm adding the onion in last because I want the onion to still have some texture when we eat it. I'm gonna give it a taste to see if we need to add any more salt. Oh my god, the creaminess from the coconut milk and all the aromatics from the curry paste. It's a bit spicy, but it's not like too spicy that you can't handle it. Ooh, that little kick. Oh, and the lemongrass. My favorite herb is lemongrass, so this is perfect. Ooh, it's good. Another tip though, once you add the milk in, do not bring this to a hard boil because once you do, the milk will start to curdle. So it's always good to have it at a lower heat. Alright, so I'm gonna show you what I made earlier today to go with this dish.
Ta-da!
Alright, you could eat this over jasmine white rice, but I like to eat it with bread. Some green onion and some bread. Look at this guy. Isn't that pretty and yummy looking? Now it's your turn to make and let me know how it tastes.
Okay guys, if you like this video, hit that subscribe button and come back next week for our weekly updates. See you then!